Okay. So first off, I'll go over what kind of runes and masteries I use. I'll do it by actually looking at the page so you can see what the setup is. First of all, I'm a strong believer in hybrid pen reds on Zac. You're going to get a lot of auto attacks on when you're trading, and the main thing you're going to want in the early game is penetration, considering you don't have very good AP scaling. And that's going to help to give you a bunch of damage. You're going to want to run health. Well, I run health per level yellows. You can run armor here. You can do whatever you want. The reason I run this is because Zac's major strengths come from leveling up. You're not really going for kills in the early game, so you want to make sure that your mid to late game strength comes from these runes right here. And then the next thing you're going to set up, or that I set up, once again I play it a very strange way. But I run in full cooldown blues and quints to put me at 15% CDR, and then when you come over to the masteries tree, you pick up the 5% from the offensive tree, meaning that you're going to run 20% CDR at the start of the game, and then you're going to scale through health. So literally, even if you give up farm, even if you die a couple times, you still hit. Actually, no, I take that back. You don't want to die early, or else you get denied levels, and that really ruins your power curve. But you're mainly looking to just harass like Renekton does from range, sustain up using your blobs if you can get to them. Keep in mind that even if you hit somebody with an ability and they take damage and you don't get the blob, consider that an even trade. All right, you need to make sure you get in the mindset of not collecting every single blob, otherwise you will die in situations when you shouldn't. But yeah, that's what I do. I pretty much use 20% CDR from the start of the game. Butcher and Feast here, just to make sure that you sustain. I know there's 1 mana per minion wasted, whoop-de-doo, but the 3 health per minion is pretty nice. And then I run a really weird page. It's not your standard 21-9 or 9-21. I know. It's kind of weird. But it's because there's a bunch of things that are just really, you know, they're beneficial to you. You know you're going to be stacking a bunch of tank items. You're a tank, so you want to make sure that you get the 5% increased bonus from that. And what you're looking for here is you're not looking for the early game. You're looking for the late game build. And you'll see what that turns out to be if I can get rolling in this one. So that's beneficial. 2 health per 5. I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot, but every little bit counts when you're in the lane, especially on Zac. You need that sustain. You need to make sure you stay healthy. Yeah, you can bank on your passive, but you also need to get in the mindset of, I'm probably going to be giving up some blobs, so that's just that. Block and unyielding, they're just OP. It's your baby Doran shield. It's going to allow you to make sure that you trade well in lane. I take this health, and the 3% max health is actually nice on Zac, considering you're going to be stacking so many health items. Let me turn on my music a little bit. There we go. It's nice since you're going to be stacking so many health items, and that just makes sure that in the late game, once again, you've got a bunch of health to work with. 5 armor, and that's really not even for the enemies you're going to be facing, it's just to reduce minion damage when you go in for trades. Like I said, you're going to get autos in, you're going to be taking minion aggro. You want to have at least something to mitigate a little bit of that, but it's not going to be enough to where you really want to put it on my runes. The health is just too valuable, especially the new health per level yellows. The reason I take oppression here, if you think about Zac's kit, there's so much CC that goes down that the 3% reduction is actually pretty OP, especially in lane. You can land 1 Q, take 3% reduced damage from everything that happens beyond that point, including minion damage. Look at it, it says from enemies, not just from champions. So that means even minions will do reduced damage to you there. And then, of course, you want to have Perseverance and Second Wind, just because sustain, like I said, you're playing that Renekton style, you want to be harassing and mainly staying healthy in the lane. Legendary Guardian, you're going to be in the middle of team fights, so you want to make sure that you have that resilience in team fights. And then Tenacious, just CC to reduction. It's always nice, and no one wants to get CC'd. So that being said, I am going to go ahead and find some solo players for us here. I want a bottom lane marksman and a bottom lane support.